So our junior athlete programs at Vector Health and Performance, just giving you an overview, I guess, of what to expect as a parent and then maybe if you're looking at this as an athlete. So one of the key aims of our athletic program is not just to improve your sporting performance in the short term, but to get you to a point when by the time you leave school, when you're confident of going into any gym facility, any training environment, and being able to perform in that training environment because you're confident. So it goes back to that mission of improving self-belief and in transforming physical capacity. We can't transform your physical capacity until your self-belief is good enough that you'll work hard enough and you'll go away and do the things that you need to do by yourself to get better. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then that won't happen in our experience. So our programs are not just based on the perfect exercise for you, they're based on improving what's called movement literacy. So giving you a multitude of different types of exercises to improve your ability to move, your ability to lift, rotate, throw a ball, catch a ball, all those sort of things, and especially things like running that work into many sports. So let's say, for argument's sake, if you're a swimmer, it's very unlikely that you're going to be an Olympian. Now, I say that not in a negative context, but in a realistic context. What's the most important thing is that we teach you how to do a multitude of exercises, not just a program that's highly dependent on swimming. We try to be more specific as you grow in age and you grow in stature in the sport. So if you're a national level swimmer, we will definitely be thinking a lot more specifically about your program than if you're a regional level swimmer hoping to progress through to maybe a state or a national swimmer by the age of 14. So at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, even up to 14 years of age, we are really working hard on improving your ability to take on a physical challenge and be confident. So it's not just about being really specific. So I guess this message is out there for some people who think that there's a such thing as sport-specific training. Yes, you can be specific in the nature of the movements that you undertake, but in terms of sport-specific training, that's what sport training's for. Strength and conditioning for sport is all about making the athlete move better so that we can provide back to your coach a higher quality of athlete. If we can do that, then your coach has a more malleable, more pliable, more flexible athlete to be able to do what they want with. So in terms of swimming or in terms of running, in terms of football, all those sports have slightly different capacities. So we do need to think about those sometimes. However, in general, in that younger age group, we try and just get you to the point where you can go out and run and jump and throw a ball, catch a ball, push, pull, rotate, hold your form properly in a bracing pattern. That's our job. So that's why a lot of the time you'll see that programs aren't necessarily like block patterned, which means everyone's doing the same thing. You'll see that there might be 10 children in a session and there might be 5 different programs running at the same time, which does make our job harder, but it is all about governed to your ability as an athlete, and as a parent, it's all about your child doing the right thing. So one of my sayings is every single person that comes to Vector Health and Performance is here for them, and we're here for them. So whether we've got 10 people or 2 people in a session, we're still working for each individual that walks in the door. And whilst we all like to encourage the teamwork approach, help each other, push each other, work hard for each other, we really want you to work for yourself, to be confident in working for yourself and not being afraid of achieving something and moving on to the next level. Even if that means that you're going to bypass one of your friends and you're going to be doing a different program to them, it's all about you achieving what you set out to do and us helping you do that. So that's my philosophy behind the programs that we run. It is different to some other people. However, the programs are heavily based on the long-term athletic development modelling that exists, which is essentially how to plan an athlete's journey over not just a 2-month, a 2-year, it's balancing out over a 5-year journey, which you think is 12 to 17. So we can send them away knowing they can do anything they like. So as you move through your athletic journey, especially as a young athlete or a developing athlete, you might find where you've been in a group setting and you're improving, but we go from trying to improve 10 or 15 percenters, so improving the ability to jump, the ability to, provide force into the ground or provide force through the water, hold your body still in the water when you're swimming, those sort of things. So they're your big ones that'll get you big results. So let's say then we start to look at the 1 and 2 and 3 and 5 percenters. That's where individual coaching pays off. So I have this saying that in most cases, children should start in a group environment, learn how to train in a group environment, learn how to concentrate, work on their own, even if in a group, avoid distraction, just sort of like, a school environment, but where they're a bit more free to express themselves. As you grow in your stature as an athlete, that's where the one-to-one coaching probably becomes more important. And it doesn't have to be like the personal training model, which is once, twice or 3 times a week, one-to-one. It can be more of a consultation sort of model where once or twice or 3 times a term, we're planning out program phases and we're spending time teaching on a one-to-one level so that we can be very clear on what that athlete needs to achieve. So then when they're working in the group environment, you can expect that as a coach, they know exactly what you're going to do. Difference there between a group and an individual environment, and those programs are highly individualised. It's called, a periodised program where you might have a nationals coming up in 9 weeks, and so you're going to work that program to suit what the coach is programming and what the nationals timeline is indicating, so that you're governing against fatigue. So the individual sessions then become more useful, and that's where it's worth maybe investing a little more in your son or daughter's development. And in all cases, parents are in general quite welcome to watch in sessions, especially on that one-to-one level, because a lot of the time you might pick up little tips and tricks and those sort of things. Things like working on really specific warm-up or really specific activation patterning drills, or things that you can improve your movement patterns with. They're the sort of things that we might work in that one-to-one setting that are harder to do in a group setting. So if we ever talk to you about that type of journey, then it's usually almost, you could consider it like a compliment to your child, as such that we feel that we should ask you to invest, but it's also so that we can make their program more specific, teach them more in a shorter space of time, and aim at those little tiny percentage changes which we know are going to hopefully impact their performance when it counts.